shawty, you can't lie.
Yes, sir. Come on. Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon. And once again, we on 910 Sports TV. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity. Without him, there'd be no us. Tonight, we have one of our members is out tonight. You know what I mean? So he's having some dental work done. So he's probably going to be out for the next couple of weeks, Jacob the Great. So, quick healing for him and what he got going on. He might chime in and throw some comments or questions out there behind the scenes. So anyway, I got my right-hand man, Mr. Up and down the East Coast Coach of the Year. He traveled more than doggone Delta and Southwest put together. Coach Goins, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, it's another Saturday night in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. Glad to be on. And again, we send our prayers to none other than Jacob the Great. And then we're just excited, man. We got a very special guest on tonight and just looking forward to a great show. So with that, if you don't mind, let me go ahead and do some introductions. So first of all, for those of you that don't know, our very special guest tonight is Miss Tyne Ross. She is an outstanding volleyball player at the University of North Carolina A&T, and coming off the 25 season, she was CAA Rookie of the Year. And in that, she entered the 25 season and she was voted CAA preseason player of the year by the coaches of that conference. And she joined them from Union Pines High School, where she starred in the Sand Hills Athletic Conference Player of the Year. She played volleyball and she played tennis. And in that A&T, she's made 26 straight starts. She has a total of 425 kills. So, Eddie, I had to do some research. I said, man, what's kills? That's when she goes up over that net and just like makes them eat that ball, right? So in her 425 kills, listed her fifth most single season by A&T player and the most by any A&T freshman. She led the CAA and ranked 34th nationally in her kills. Her points ranked second in the league and 40th nationally. She earned best freshman debut in program history. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to 910 Sports TV, Miss Tyne Ross.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so glad that I was able to be invited here, and I'm glad that I get the opportunity to talk to you gentlemen today.
Absolutely, man. I tell you what, Eddie, man, I can't, excuse me, I'm sorry, man. I'm just like getting caught up in that moment.
Every time you're my government, man. No.
But here's the thing, man. I mean, I've known Tyne before Tyne was on the planet, right? Her father is a very, very, very close relative of mine. One of my favorite. And if I had to say it, I'm almost like Deion Sanders when I say this. You ever rank your cousins? Like you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like he ranks his kids. Her dad would be definitely on that number one finger, number two, top to bottom. And her mother's fantastic. Is again district court judge, and she's in doing hard campaignings for those out there. So she comes from great stock and just dynamic. And just thank you so much for time for cleaning your calendar and joining us tonight. So here's my very first question. As you were growing up, and I know a little bit of history, and I'm trying not to get over my skis here. I know your mom was a standout volleyball player at Pinecrest, and again, apple doesn't fall from the trees. But just what's so intriguing just about sports? Why do you love sports so much?
Well, mainly because I grew up in a sports family. My parents played college sports. My sister played a college sport. So growing up, I just wanted to be in sports, and we always loved watching sports. We're a very competitive family, and sometimes we can get too competitive depending on what it is, but I love growing up in that environment. And for me, I just knew I wanted to play a sport because I was introduced to sports so young, and I was just interested in them. And then when I took an interest to them, I was just glad that I was able to play on the college level as well. So yeah.
Absolutely. All right, I see you ready and poised, man.
So basically, volleyball is seemed to be one of those type of sports, because I actually told Jacob, and I think I might told Coach this. I actually like watching female volleyball more than males. I don't know. It seemed like y'all more athletic with it, more skilled, and I don't want the men to get mad at me. I'm just because especially around the Olympic time frame. So what makes a great volleyball player?
What makes a great volleyball player is like their determination and like being well rounded. Like I'm an outside hitter, but for me as an outside hitter, I want to be able to know how to do all things. Like I want to know how to pass, set, hit, serve. So I'd say just being a good, like, versatile player makes you a really good volleyball player, and your mindset and your effort, because you could be playing some people that have like a really good talent level, and you need to be able to have your mindset ready, and you need to be ready to just, I don't know, go out there and compete, you know.
Okay, so being you say outside, so that doesn't mean like the because we talked about kill shots at the beginning. So that mean that is you the
Mhm.
is that the kill shot person when you say outside player, or that
Yes.
or is that the
Yes.
middle? Which one is the primary kill shot? The middle person or the outside person?
The outside.
Okay, okay, so that's your
Yeah.
primary job, or that's what your strong suit is.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so how did you become great at that particular position?
Well, I always knew I wanted to hit because hitters usually get a lot of attention because they have the most exciting part of the game. So I really wanted to be an outside because I got into hitting. And then when I started becoming good at it, I was like, okay, I kind of like it. I mean, growing up, I kind of wanted to be a setter, but I knew that like I was a really good hitter. So I just stuck with that. Yeah.
Okay, so now being it has to have certain skill to it because first of all, when you're trying to kill a shot, at the same time you got to be able to do it with finesse and strength at the same time. So what's the
Yeah.
balance between hitting the ball and not knocking it out that cost your team a score? Because I'm guessing when we seen the errors mean that you probably
Mhm.
knocked it out too hard. So what's the balance and what goes into making sure that you get a clean shot?
I'd say first off, just being aggressive, just knowing like if you do hit a ball out, just know that you are trying to be as aggressive as possible and just trying to be smart as possible. Like as an outside, especially growing up when you're younger, they tell you to hit as hard as you can because most of the time defenses aren't ready. But at the college level, it's better to be smart. Like sometimes you can throw in like a little roll shot or like a tip shot, like a slower shot just to try to get the other team off balance, or also tooling. Like I can try to hit the ball as hard as I can, and if it hits the other team's fingers and it goes out, that's our point. So I'd say just being an outside, you just need to be smart and use all the shots that you have, and especially in college because it's a higher level. So I'd say just being smart and doing what you need to do, and just being aggressive and confident when you swing every time. So
Okay, I got one more question before I throw it back to coach. So you had 425 kill shots. You was your freshman year, right? So what's the
yes,
average like?
yes.
What's the average kill shot? So that as far as like for a season,
For a season, like in terms of like a
like
team
so when
or
you had
just in general?
425, and I guess that 425 is I'm assuming is an impressive number, especially for a freshman. So what would
Yeah.
be like the average, like if you would say across the board in that particular position or kill shot, would it be like 300, 350? What would be the thing that still makes you good but not great? What would that number be?
I say on average it'd have to be like 250. I think the
Wow.
highest amount
Okay.
of kills somebody got in that season might have been like 600, I believe. So
Okay.
400 is pretty
So you right
decent.
there. So you was
Yeah.
right there in the middle for a freshman. So that's pretty good. Yeah. Go ahead, coach.
Hmm.
Well, here's the thing I've learned, right? Is you got to get off, you got to be able to get up off the floor to kill the ball,
Yeah.
right? So if I played volleyball, I'd probably be one of them setters, right there in the net, because I ain't jump you. I jump as high as I can jump. I kind of you might not be able to slide a dollar underneath my foot, right? So, here's my question, Tyne. So, what is your training? Walk us through some of the training aspects when the season's over with. How do you like decompress? Take a few weeks off. What does that look like from from the world of a standout volleyball player?
Well, for me, I like to get in the gym a lot. Me and my dad weekly, we like to go 3 times a week to our local gym, just get in some reps. Like I like to do calf exercises because I want to be able to be at the top of my game when I'm jumping. I want a high vertical, and just getting some touches in, like going to my old club gym to just get some like volleyball touches, like some skills and do some drills and stuff. So I'd say like for me, I like to take a big rest because when we start preseason, it's going to be guns blazing. And, that's when we start getting into two-a-days and all that stuff. So I'd say, like, not practicing like a whole bunch, like every single day, just to eliminate burnout. But I'd say just getting a lot of helpful reps and like practicing the sport of volleyball 2 times a week and then like going to the gym and working out 3 times a week so that I can stay at the top of my game.
Wow, wow, man! I can picture your dad in there. What's he doing? Is he lobbing it to you? I mean, walk me through what Tyrone Ross was doing in the gym when y'all working out. I want to say, walk me through this so I can picture this.
Well, I meant like working out, like when we go to the gym, not volleyball gym, just
Oh,
like the
okay,
regular
okay,
gym.
okay. I was
Yeah.
getting nervous. I didn't want him to try to jump up there and be trying to show you how to do a kill and mess his knee up or something like that. So, all right. So here's where I want to go on this next deal. So as you get ready to enter into the season and the high expectation again, congratulations on being CA. I mean, that's just like that's unheard of. Now, I did have opportunity to see you handle your business when you guys played Clemson. So
Mhm.
what is the mindset when you go into when you have to play, say, ACC school? And I know that you had a remarkable game when you played North Carolina Central. Do you worry about who's on the other side of the net, or you just go out there and just handle your business no matter who your opponent is?
I go out there and try to handle my business as much as I can when I go out there. Like they're also a Division 1 volleyball team. We're a Division 1 volleyball team, and we practice hard and we get after it in the gym. And that mindset takes us into a game. Like we can compete with them. Like we know that we can compete with them. We were asked to play at this level, and they put us on the schedule. So we might as well make a show out of it.
Absolutely. I know. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. You had an opportunity. What was it, last summer, or early this summer, to go out west and work out with the USA? Tell us about that experience.
Yes. Spring 2025, last season, my freshman year, I was invited to go to Colorado for the US Open national team tryouts. And it was like 4 days, and I got an opportunity to play at a high level against some of the best players in the country. And I'm so glad that I was able to have that opportunity. I was able to showcase my skills, and I was also able to learn from some of the greatest coaches around the world and play against some of the best competition. So I'd say it was a really, really good opportunity for me.
Man, that's you know what? That's fantastic. Think about that, Icon, man. See, to go across play and you out there playing with the best of the best. And she's right here live on 910 Sports TV tonight. So, what you got for us, Icon?
All right, before we continue on, everybody please subscribe to 910 SNE on our YouTube page. Also follow us, support us on 810 Studios Roku channel. This episode will more than likely be on CW22 next month in the Carolinas and the Virginia area. I'll definitely let Coach know to let Tyne Ross and her family know when it's going to air there in Augusta 54 next month, and also support us on DJsUnitedRadio.com. So let's get back into it. So basically, let me ask you a question. So who is the GOAT of female volleyball in
Like of
college?
all time
Yeah,
in college,
yes.
I'd say Nebraska has an outside hitter. Her name is Harper Murray. I'd say she would be considered the GOAT of volleyball right now.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. And so, because I'm trying to think, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Texas one of the top like programs? Because I'm sometimes I feel like I'm watching some one time and I catch it. Who's like the Alabama or the like the Duke or Carolina or whatever you want to call it? Who's that? program in volleyball, in female volleyball?
I'd say it would be Nebraska or
The,
Texas
got
or
okay.
Penn State. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you, got you. So, have you had a chance to play against any of those schools?
No, we have not. We would probably have an opportunity if we won our conference championship, but being from like a smaller conference, we would have to be able to win our conference title in order to play in the NCAA tournament, where we would probably most likely meet those teams.
Okay, so how many games do y'all play a season?
So we play around like almost 30, I'd say, close to that
Hmm.
number. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so how hard is it, or how what do you have to do to mentally and physically when y'all go like because in female volleyball, do y'all go 3 sets or five? Y'all go 5 sets, right? Or y'all go three?
Yes. We go
Y'all go
5 sets
five?
depending. So it's like best, yeah, we go best 3 out of 5.
Yeah. So if you have to end up going the whole 5 sets against a particular opponent, what mentally and physically does it take to really get to that? To be able to get through that and still be at the top of your game?
Um, I'd honestly just say staying headstrong. Don't get
Mm.
into your head mentally because it's easy, especially if, like, for example, you're up 2 sets and then the other team comes back and wins the next 2 sets. So you have to go to a five, or you're like, okay, I know we can beat this team. But I'd say just being mentally prepared and mentally tough in that situation, because you have to have a lot of endurance. And, everybody's like, we got to win this game. We want to win a fifth set. So I'd say just being mentally tough.
Okay, so you seem like a leader of the team. I just tell by your personality, you come off as being a leader. So when y'all in that game where it seemed like, man, who we playing against tonight, well, whoo, I don't know about this one. What do you do to kind of, talk to your teammates to keep them locked in?
I'd say just remembering who we are. Like, since, like I just said, we get after it in practice, and we were actually ranked preseason number 4 last season, and we'll probably be preseason ranked high this year. So just remembering, like, we can beat these teams. We're in this position for a reason, and we are not put in any situations that we cannot handle. So we just have
Mm.
to refocus and play our game in order to get an objective done. Because I believe in our conference, we can play with the best of them. And we have shown time and time again that we can compete with them. So just staying mentally tough, like I said before, and just knowing that we need to play our game and play like we play in practice.
Okay. Before I throw it back to Coach King Jacob, our other partner who couldn't be on tonight, says that Stanford has two best collegiate volleyball players of all time. So I don't know if you can agree with that or not, or know of those players.
I know of one player and outside who is on the Olympic team. Her name is Catherine Plummer. She had gotten National Player of the Year, I believe, maybe
Wow.
once or twice, if I'm not mistaken. And like, I think that was before COVID. Some of the before COVID seasons she was playing.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I can agree to that.
Okay, okay. Go ahead, Coach.
But you know what? Yeah, I think Icon, you were right, man. There is something is a little different in women's volleyball than men's volleyball. And I'm like, if I'm cruising through and I'd be like, I ain't watching that. Then the women on, I'm like, I'll stop them. Of course, I'm partial to Pitt, and I'm partial to A&T just because relatives on both squads there. But in that, here's the thing I want to ask time. So it's game day, right? Walk us through when you got a match. What is your pregame? How do you have headphones on? Do you put your left sock on first? Do you put your right sock on first? Walk us through how does Tyne Ross get ready before you step out on that match or step out on that
Well,
court?
for me, I'm a very energetic person, and sometimes I can get a little bit hype, but I'd say like nervous energy. I try to get that out as much as possible. So in the locker room, my team likes to listen to music, or there might be some days where we're all logged in and I put my headphones on and I listen to my pump up music. It just depends on what kind of situation we have. Like most of the time, the first game of a series, like in the weekend series, the first game I try to get pumped up and um I mean, I like to be very, very energetic. I like to get everybody pumped up. And for me, I feel like I like to get pumped up because that's how I play. I run off adrenaline. And then maybe the second game, the second day, I cool down a little bit and chill out and like relax and put my headphones on and just kind of be my own little bubble. But for me, I'd say I'm a very energetic person. So I guess it just depends on who we're playing and when we're playing or just the situation
All
generally.
right. All right, so I see Jacob just posted actually asked a question, and his question was, can you elaborate on your AAU when before you went to A&T, your circuit when you were out destroying people in the amateur volleyball athletics.
So I played club volleyball in Durham, and I played for North Carolina Volleyball Academy, and I played there starting in 15s. Like I had played like a smaller travel club when I was in middle school, but in high school I wanted to play for a club that got me into these tournaments where there would be coaches there, and I got good exposure, and I was playing against some of the best girls in the country. And I was able to get a good opportunity at that playing with NC Volleyball Academy. I was lucky enough to make the top team for my age group um, for 16, 17s, and 18s, my 16, 17, and 18s year. So I was able to play some of the best in the country and go to a lot of exposure tournaments. And the club was really good with having college coaches coming into the gym where we practice. So that's where A&T actually saw me, and they were very interested in me from the beginning. And I had expressed interest in them as well after my recruiting process. So um, yeah, playing for NC Academy, I had a really good time because I was able to compete at a high level, and it has definitely helped me in college.
All right. So before I kick it back to Icon, let's talk. Let's go down that road of recruiting, right? So there
Mhm.
you are, you and your pines, you doing. I mean, and here's the thing, Icon. People don't realize you put her on the tennis court. You know what? You better have three rackets in your hand, right? Just so she just wasn't just dominating volleyball.
Okay.
She was making it happen on the tennis court as well. But back to being recruiting. So what was, if you don't mind, toss some of the schools out that was had debate in the water, but of course you're an Aggie, and we understand that. But what was that process like, getting those letters? You guys loading up and making those trips to find out exactly what you would call home.
So during my sophomore summer, like going into my junior year, that's when I could finally get recruited. And I had gotten a lot of letters, interest letters. June 15th is the day that I was able to finally get contacted by these coaches. And then I went to a bunch of camps. I traveled and saw kind of like the campuses and the cultures around some of the schools that I went to. So I was able to have a eventful summer and like kind of get into the habit of knowing where I wanted to go and kind of seeing what I wanted for my college career. So that was a really big summer for me.
Excellent, excellent, and that's a lot of times a lot of people don't understand that it's an investment. You got the court time, but then you got to put that what I call car time. Going out and making sure that it's the culture's right. It's going to be away from the courts. Environment, classroom wise, is important. So, and I know you're taking care of business in the classroom, so I ain't even worried about that end of the stick. So I know, because I know your mom and daddy, and I know that ain't slipping a little bit. So, all right, Arcani,
Nah.
man, I see you. I see you poised and ready for this spike.
Yeah, I'm ready for my kill shot. So what sold you on the school? Like, what were you looking for on your recruiting trail, and what sold you on your school?
So I wanted a school that wanted me from the beginning, something that
Mm,
felt like family and just a place that I knew would be comfortable. Like at first, I was saying that like I'd be okay going 8 hours away for a school, but luckily I was able to go to a place where I was an hour away, and A&T just crossed off all the boxes for me. Like I felt like it was a family environment, and going to an HBCU. I'm really glad that I have the opportunity to go to an HBCU because it has been a truly great experience, and I'm so grateful for the opportunities that I have been able to have in order to go to an HBCU. And it's very close to home. It's about an hour. So if I need anything, I can, go home if I want to. And it's in a great place. Greensboro is a city. It's a nice city. So I'd say for me, what sold me on A&T was just, I just felt like it was the place I needed to be. Like, people always say when you step somewhere and you feel immediately like home. That's how I felt. Like I had taken a bunch of visits and I was like, okay, yeah, I could maybe see myself at these places. But ultimately, when I went to A&T, when I took the visit, I was like, this is definitely the place that I need to be. Like it was just a feeling like in my heart that I wanted to be there. And that's how I made that decision.
Okay, so your freshman year, what was the biggest adjustment when it comes to the classroom and just getting adjusted on campus, not on the sports side, but just being a student and just being able to adjust that first year?
So I really had to organize everything. I had to make sure I was paying attention to my calendar and making sure that I was getting with my advisors to make sure that I'm going to the right places. And luckily for me, A&T doesn't have too many places that are spread out. Like it's not like the biggest campus. It's a big campus, but it's not like a huge overwhelming campus. So I just wanted to make sure that I was on top of everything, making sure that I was doing what I was supposed to do and asking questions if I had any questions worth asking. So I'd say just being um, prepared and ready and knowing what I needed to do.
Okay, so what's your major?
My major is journalism and mass communications.
Okay,
Whoa.
so I'm assuming when I hear that you want to be maybe a commentator or something in that world, analyst or something in the sports world when you get done.
Yeah, I'm wanting to
With
be in sports media. I'm wanting to be a sports analyst, and luckily for me, A&T actually gave me the opportunity to color commentate for the softball team this year. So
All
I got
right.
a chance to do a few games, and um, I know a lot about softball. My sister played college softball. I played softball, and we're a softball family. So I was just so glad that I was able to have that opportunity. So, yeah.
Okay, so before I throw it back to Coach, King Jacob said volleyball's on the rise again, being the NL money is nonstop, and I was actually going to transition to that question anyway, of how is this NL, because we know how it affects football and basketball, the men, especially the men's
Mhm.
sports. We hear about it all the time. So how does it affect the college volleyball, women's volleyball, when it comes to NIL money, transferring? How does it affect the
Mhm.
athletes?
I'd say for volleyball, NIL is not as popular unless you're at like a top school. But I'd say that could impact people with transfers wanting more money. But I'd say just as like any college athlete, you just need to take advantage of the opportunities that you have. And it's a really good system. I'd say it's good to be able to get money as a college athlete for name, image, and likeness. But I'd say for volleyball, it has had a good landscape, but in terms of being related to football, it might not be as much because it's not considered a revenue sport. It probably will be, hopefully, maybe in the near future because of its popularity, but as of right now, it's still on the rise. So,
So what's the most you heard from any top player
mm.
getting in female volleyball? What's the number you've heard?
I'd say I'm not completely sure the exact numbers, but I know programs like Nebraska are probably getting like players maybe getting like close to 1 million, maybe because they're on like a huge stage and they're consistently national title contenders every year. So I'd say close to maybe the million range.
Okay, okay. Go ahead, Coach.
Hey man, hey, you asked that question, you gonna make me go back and see if I got any eligibility left.
In volleyball, coach.
What?
In
Come on,
volleyball.
hey, yeah, they need a what do you call them? A setter, a spotter, or something. You know, I ain't trying to work on no kills. I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to have them
You
fly
gonna have
over
to
my
do more
head.
than that, coach. I think they have to move around. I don't
Well, I
think you
mean,
just
I can
stand
do
in
that.
one
I
spot the
know.
whole
Yeah.
game,
Hey,
coach.
listen, I can walk up to the sideline and check in, right?
I mean,
And just,
I remember playing volleyball like when we was kids and like summer camp and stuff, and you know like PE. And I
yeah.
remember you had to rotate. So, coach,
Oh,
I
I can
don't think that's for
rotate.
you.
I can rotate. They can just point over them. They can just say, go stand over there. I can do that. They give me 30,000 to go occupy space and time.
Lord,
So, hey, so
go ahead. Ask your question, coach.
so here's my question, Ty. So I get it, right? School's out, man. Season's over with, and you get to come home.
Mhm.
How important is it to be home, be around family, be around mom and dad? You know, he may say, or they may say, take the trash out and all this. He's like, do you know who I am? I'm the CA player of the year, and you tell me that. What? Tell the listening audience, and the watching audience and the viewing audience, what's it like just to be around just great family and being able just to unwind? And I know you and your dad played in the golf tournament last week. Just how special is
Mhm.
that?
It's great for me just coming home and being able to relax. Like I love the country life. Like, Greensboro's a big city, but I really like to unwind coming back down to Moore County and being able to do some fun activities. I was able to work a bunch of camps this summer around the area. So I was able to, give back to my community in a way. So it's been really, really good. And my parents are very, very supportive of me. My family's very supportive. And just a lot of the people around here. So I'm just really glad that I'm able to come home to, some home cooked meals and just great people, great times, and just being able to unwind before I go back to school.
Absolutely. You hear that, Iconi? She said home cooked meals. I got to tell this quick story. There was nobody like her grandma and had them biscuits on that stove. I'd go over there, I'd come through the garage, and every time I walk in Aunt Gertie's house, buddy, there was a pan of biscuits on that stove. I had to get one and hit either coming in the door or coming out of the door. So, hey, listen, my last question, but here's where and again, and I saw that, and it's tremendous that you're able to come back home, and I saw you with Coach Fox and working some of her camps, and I know that, and as a former coach myself, I think back on that. Your mom played at Union, played at Pinecrest with Coach Fox, and now here is her daughter stand out. She comes back and she does that. It's so important to be able to give back. So here's my last thing question. What would you have, or what advice would you give the aspiring volleyball young lady coming up to be able to stay? How do they stay focused? What are some of the key? Let them inside Tyne Ross's playbook, if you will.
For me, I just say don't be discouraged because it's easy when you're young and trying to learn the game, but it's a very crucial time in your life to just take some pressure off of yourself and know that you're learning, especially if you're a young player. Just don't be discouraged and just keep working. Like you're never going to be perfect because I know a lot of young athletes want to be perfect, but you're never going to be perfect because you're going to make mistakes. But just mentally staying tough and shaking off a mistake. Like, you shank a ball, next point. You miss a serve, next point. You do something wrong, next point. Don't stay in your head. Just don't be discouraged and know that you can recover from anything that you do. And especially at a very young age, you need to just remember that this won't be like the end. You can continue to play and you just have to keep working because it doesn't come overnight. Like for me, it didn't necessarily come overnight. I had to keep working and putting in the effort. So just remembering to stay mentally tough.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well said. All right, Icon.
All right. Well, Jacob said that Harper Murray is the highest paid volleyball player. She makes the same amount as Nebraska starting QB, 1.5 million. Both are signed with Adidas. So hold on, Coach. You were saying that okay? So Coach Fox still around?
Yeah. Now she's
Really?
not. Yeah. I mean, I don't think she's not at Pine. She's retired, but yeah, she's still doing her thing, man. You ain't gonna mess
Yeah.
with the Fox.
Yeah. So yeah. Cause so yeah. I'm aged myself. So when I was in at Pinecrest, Charlotte Hargrove was the top dog. I don't know if you heard that name before, and I know your mom probably know who Charlotte Hargrove is. She might have played with her, but
I
Charlotte
think they
Hargrove
did.
was. Yeah, I don't know what year your mom. You know what year your mom graduated or went to Pinecrest?
89. She graduated in 89.
89. So I think she was right before, because I think Charlotte Hargrove was a year above me. I graduated in 94. I think Charlotte
Oh
was either
man.
92, 93. So
Okay.
Okay.
I think your mom probably was right before Charlotte, but I'm pretty sure she know who she is because
Oh,
Charlotte
absolutely.
Hargrove was she was a beast when she was there on the basketball court and the volleyball court, whatever.
94.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. So
94. Man, I got shoes that old, dude.
all right, so we gonna change it up a little bit. We gonna ask you some questions. So Coach said that you was a basketball, that you was into basketball. So the big thing all week long is LeBron and where he chose to go. What was your surprise level, or what was your thoughts on the whole thing when you seen it?
I'd say I wasn't really expecting the 76ers. A lot of people were saying that he was going there, but I didn't know quite why. I mean, they have a tough lineup, but me personally, I thought that he was going to go to the Cavaliers to maybe finish his career because he's from there, like he's won there. So I was kind of hoping he would go to Cleveland just to end off his career where he started. But I think going to the 76ers was a good idea because maybe they can be tough in the East and try to beat the Knicks, but
Ooh,
we'll have to
ooh,
see.
ooh.
We'll have to see.
She
This is the
said
thing I want to
try.
say. This is what I want to say to both of y'all and coaching both of y'all. I feel like the Knicks are getting a little bit too much credit. What I mean by that is they're not like the Kobe and Shaq Lakers. They're not
Oh
like the
no.
Golden State Warriors. They're not like the Miami Heat. You know what I mean? They're not one of those type of teams where I feel like that they're just so great, they unbeatable. So I think if the chemistry comes together, and God knows if Joel Embiid can give them anything over the season, they definitely gonna have a chance to beat the Knicks. Because I don't think the Knicks is unbeatable. Because the Knicks kind of, you got to think they've been with that same team for like 5 years with the core players, and it took
Yeah.
them forever just to get to this point. And if you watch the playoffs, the teams they were playing in the playoffs weren't really that good to begin with, no way. You know what I mean? So they kind of got an easy road to get there until they got
Mm.
to the Spurs. And the Spurs were just really young. So I'm happy for them because they ain't won since Jesus was a baby. But at the same time, I'm happy that they won. You know what I mean? For them, whatever. Because I got tired of the Knicks fans walking around just acting like they dog died or something. I don't know. So it's got to be pathetic after a while. So, but anyway, I would ask you this question. When it comes to community involvement, what is your perspective on that, and what do you look for when it comes to being involved in your community?
For me, I think it's just really good to give back to your community because the community has given so much to me. So just trying to get involved and giving my knowledge and what I know to the community is very important to me because like for example, the volleyball camps, I was once in a position that they were in, wanting someone to look up to, maybe, closer to their age or somebody who's in college about to, you know, have a successful career. So I'd say it's very important for me to just give back to the community that gave back to me and just giving my insights and my feedback to anybody who's willing and wanting to, you know, hear what I got to say. So,
Okay, so so basically volleyball, the volleyball career, because I guess I'm assuming they don't have a major league for y'all other than I guess maybe you can go maybe Olympics or something. So what is it? Is it another level past college that you can get into?
yes, there are a few leagues in the United States that just started. There's like an MVL league, Major League Volleyball, I believe that's what it's called. They have a few teams from around, like they're in America, and then
Hmm.
there's LOVB. That's also a league in volleyball. They spread out, and they're like American teams. So they're just trying to, kind of rival the NBA and have an opportunity for girls who are playing college volleyball to look forward to another level. And there's also some professional teams overseas and just some opportunities like that. But I can see pro volleyball becoming very, very popular in America in the future because of these new teams. And they have like some very good markets like Atlanta, San Diego, San Francisco, Nebraska, Orlando. So I can see it being very, very popular in the future.
Okay, so would is coaching is something that you would be interested in also?
I'd say I would be coaching. I would be interested in coaching. I originally didn't really want to be a coach, but I'd say that I would want to become one because I think that it would be important for me. Like, I want to stay in the sport and I want to give back my knowledge of the sport. So I'd say that coaching has been on my mind a little bit recently, especially being able to run some of these camps, help Coach Fox, kind of being her counterpart during these camps. So I was able to get some good advice from her, and just watching her and seeing her being the legend of a coach that she is, it's kind of inspired me. So
Yeah, because I'm gonna ask you a question. How many? First of all, how many championships has she won? She got to be the GOAT, at least in the states and in North Carolina, because
ooh.
I know she
Man,
probably up there with like Pat Riley and Red Auerbach and all them when it comes to championship, or Gino out there in Connecticut. I know she got to be on that level. So what? This is probably back to the last question. What have you learned from Coach Fox when it comes to like the mental game part of it, and just maybe life things that she might have gave you as far as life skills?
I'd say what I've learned from her that's been a big part is just discipline. Like, she's very, very, strict on the players. Like, she'll laugh and cut up and joke with them. I don't know how, like, my mom might say she was very, very strict back in the day, but like, I was able to um, help her coach some of her middle school kids at this camp, and just the discipline that they had. Like, she's been coaching them for a while, and just going into a gym, seeing how, like, great they handled feedback, and you know seeing like they were immediately ready for feedback. And some of the girls would try and pass a ball with one arm, and she would say that they need to do two push-ups for that, like there was a punishment for that. But instead of her having to say they needed to do two push-ups, they would automatically do it. So just the discipline that she has put into those girls has been very, very important for me. Just knowing that that's like part of volleyball. Like, if you have good discipline, you can be a good team. So
mm.
I'd say that that's just been like one of the most fascinating things that I have gotten from her.
Well, she sounds like she got an old Devo control. I'm gonna stop talking, but when she leave, I'm gonna talk again.
Been around a
but
minute.
no, we got one last question. Already coaching beside a legendary. Oh, so Jacob said you already coaching beside a legendary coach already. So yeah, so you already coaching grooming, basically what he's saying. Um, but I definitely appreciate you coming on tonight and giving us your time. We always like to have young people come on here and give us their story. Matter of fact, I want to say, Coach, and I don't believe since you've been on here, we've been doing this for 7 years. I think she might be the first female volleyball player we've had on here,
That's why we had to pull
or
the trigger,
volleyball
brother.
player period.
That's why we
Uh,
had to put. I was going through the Rolodex, and I'm thinking, and then all of a sudden it's just like I come up to a stop sign on the way home from work. Though, I was like, what the heck? And I got to the house, but I let them fingers go. I let them fingers go to work, man. I'm like, how in the world? And again, that's just you get so caught up. You think, we talking this sport, that sport. I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
uh-huh,
And that's why sometimes you got to slow down, right? And that's why I was like, you know what? Let me reach out to Tyne and see if we can make this thing happen, man. Because number one is she. Watch this. She ain't me on the court. She's the player of the year. I mean, just like, okay, we got to have
uh-huh.
her on. You know, and so
Yeah,
again, it's just I'm just
definitely.
glad it worked out for us.
Yeah, so I appreciate you coming on tonight, and I appreciate your parents for letting us have you for a few hours, few minutes, or whatever. And we just pray for you to continue on with your career, staying healthy, doing great in school. Because you're a junior now, going to your junior season.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
so basically, just continue on and achieving all your goals, and maybe one of these days we see you on ESPN or Fox commentating on that sideline. Like, oh, no, we interviewed that young lady, and then maybe at that time you hook us with a couple of tickets or something. No, just mess with you, but I appreciate you coming on and giving us your time, and God bless you and your family, and God bless you, Coach, and everybody, and Jacob, everybody that came on and chimed in with us tonight, and y'all have a blessed and wonderful night.
Thank you, Tyne. Everybody have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye bye.